Hi, thanks again for tuning into Sin's Workshop here on YouTube. Hope everyone's having a great day. So today we're going to be talking about Admissions by Julie Buxbaum. So I had a little bit of an issue with this novel. It's not that it was poorly written, I just wasn't able to connect to it on a personal level. And I'll get into why in a second. So this novel is loosely based off of that 2019 admission scandal, you know, with all those celebrities and rich people buying their kids' way into college, okay? That's kind of what this novel is based off of. I didn't really pay attention a lot to that scandal because it kind of pissed me off on a personal level. These kids really wanted to get into these colleges, I guess, or maybe their parents wanted them to get into these colleges, much like in this novel. And I think the fact of the matter is, if you didn't get into that college, it's because you didn't work your tushy off like other people did. You know what I mean? I mean, for some people it's hard to get into college, you know, financially. I myself had to take my first 2 years off because I just didn't get enough financial aid, and I didn't really have any credit, so I couldn't really get a bank loan either, you know. So I took the 2 years off. I got a credit card to help build my credit, and, you know, I eventually was able to go to college. You know, I didn't have to take out a bank loan that my grandfather co-signed for me because he has the best credit, and I just finished paying it off a couple years ago. But, you know, I know getting into college is hard for people. It was hard for me, you know, and I worked my tushy off, and I got like an average score on the SAT. But I got a perfect score on the essay, so I'm really proud of that. But, you know, it's hard for people to get into college. College is hard, you know. I didn't really participate in extracurriculars, you know. Colleges look at these things, and I think that's what the main character in this novel didn't realize. You know, she wanted to go to this particular college, but I think she failed to realize that she has to work for it. You know, like her friend, who, they go to a private school, her friend is a scholarship kid, and her friend is great at everything because she works at it. If you work hard, things pay off. You know, like hopefully this YouTube channel will eventually pay off. Who knows? We'll see. I'd rather try and fail than not try at all. You know what I mean? But I think what Chloe didn't realize was the fact that she is white and super privileged. And she's really oblivious to her own privilege in this novel. So that's another reason why I wasn't able to connect to her. You know, I know I look white, but I am Mexican, you know. I'm a full-blooded Mexican. Everyone in my family is from some part of Mexico. You know. I'm a second-generation college. My mom went to MIT. Like, that's not hard to live up to. Me and Mom are very different though. She's more sciencey and stuff like that, and I'm more artsy. So I went to an arts college. I went to a liberal arts college, Emerson. But I think I went off on a tangent. I'm sorry. I keep going off on tangents in this video. From this point forward, we're gonna stick to the book. But I wasn't able to connect to Chloe because she's super oblivious to her privilege as a Caucasian rich kid. You know, she's got a lot of privilege there, but she doesn't really register it. So she says a lot of insensitive things to her friend, and then she's like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. She's like, no, duh, you shouldn't have said that. Like, how much of an insensitive little prick can you be? And the fact that, here's what it is. You know, the one thing I do feel bad for Chloe. her parents just didn't believe in her. And I think that they hide it under a facade of love. You know, they're like, oh, I just wanted to protect you from getting hurt. Newsflash, you don't get participation trophies in life. You're gonna get your ups and your downs. You can't protect your kids from everything. I'm saying that now as a mom. Do I want my kid to get hurt or have his dream shattered? No, I don't. But you know, it might happen. I always wanted to be a New York Times bestselling author. Has that happened yet? Nope. Maybe one day. You know, I'm still young. I'm not going to stop writing. But I think these parents in this novel, they just didn't believe in their kids. So you kind of feel bad for Chloe on that, because she actually does try. She studies relentlessly for the SAT, and instead of her scores getting higher, they're dropping. You know, I think that just goes to pressure. She just needs to take a break, you know. Her SAT scores aren't getting better. She redid her college admissions essay, and it was actually better. So she's taking the steps to do the right thing so that she can get to college. Doesn't matter what college. She just wants to go to college. But her parents just don't believe with her. They hire a college counselor and they label her with ADHD. I mean, come on. She knew that was wrong. You know, that's another reason why I wasn't able to connect to her. She knows that some of these things that her parents and her college counselor are doing are suspicious and fishy. And she's just like completely ignoring it. And I think you can't do that, you know? And that's a lot of like my issue with this novel, because it made me angry. I guess there's that. It did make me angry. It's not that it was poorly written. In fact, it was actually written very well. You know, Buxbaum, she's able to go back and forth between the present, where the FBI is leading charges against her parents and a bunch of other parents in this scandal. She's going from the now, present, to the past, to right before this all started happening, and up until, you know, the FBI knock on her door. She's super oblivious to her white privilege, and it kind of irked me. It's believable. There's no doubt about that. I'm sure there are a lot of people who are oblivious to their privilege. So I think this novel is really an eye-opener as far as that goes. You know, it's just like, you need to be aware of what you've got working for you in life and use it responsibly. You know, you have to be responsible about who you are. As a person, and if you have the money and the privilege to do good, then you should use it responsibly. You shouldn't just be like, oh, I'm just gonna buy my kid into college. Like, her mom's a superstar. I didn't like her mom at all in this novel. I didn't feel bad for her at all. I was like, go ahead, throw her in jail. She did something bad. She did something illegal. She took someone else's spot to get into that college, to give it to her daughter. I mean, come on, if that's not, you just kind of want to spit on her, honestly. You don't feel bad for her, especially with her sister. Like, oh, I was just doing this because, you know, I love my daughter and I wanted to protect her from getting hurt and I wanted to give her her best chance. No, this is not how you give them their best chance. If her daughter really wanted to go to this particular college, she should have worked harder in school. She thinks she's stupid, and you know, it should have been the parents' job to be like, no, you're not stupid, you're just not applying yourself. If she's not getting the material, then they should have hired a tutor or sit down with her and be like, okay, what don't you understand? And then go from there. You know, there are no shortcuts in life. You know, no matter, there just aren't. And if there's a shortcut, then it's probably fishy and suspicious and most likely illegal. You know? And that's kind of what this novel's about, you know, shortcuts in life. You're abusing your privilege. And I just didn't like it. It wasn't poorly written, you know, it was actually really well written. And Chloe does grow as a character. I'll say this. She starts off as oblivious, but by the end of the novel, she is very much aware of the privilege she has in life, the privileges she has in life. You know, she's very much aware of it. So she does grow as a person, and she does start using her privilege and power responsibly. So I'll say this. It is an awakening novel about highlighting privilege and how you should use it responsibly. But I think this novel is probably just going to miss the mark, because you have to think, who are the people that are going to be reading this novel? You know, it's great for young readers, I'll say this, you know, because it is eye-opening, and it does highlight right versus wrong. It does highlight suspicious behavior. It does bring realism into your own life. You know, I worked my tush off to get into college, and then this girl just gets bought in, and then, you know, she is going to make it harder for other people who actually do have ADHD to take the SAT and qualify and get into college. You know, it's more abusive privilege, and that's what this novel is about, you know, and how it's wrong. And, oh God, it just bothered me. It bothered me a lot, this novel. And I just wasn't able to connect to it, because it kind of, it pissed me off. It pissed me off because this is real life. I guess that's why it pissed me off. But I guess that's good, you know? I don't guess. That is good. Because if you're able to relate this novel to the real life, then you can work on changing it. You can work on changing the world. And I think that's what Buxbaum's trying to do with her novel. She's highlighting what's wrong with society. By adapting this ripped from the headline story, you know, she's adapting this huge scandal, she's making a story about it, and she's trying to highlight what's wrong with society. So on that note, it is a good novel, and it's worth reading for that note. I just think a lot of us are going to have a hard time connecting to the characters. Anyone who's older, you know, maybe younger audiences won't, but older audiences probably will, because I only feel bad for Chloe because, you know, she tried to do the right thing, but her parents just don't believe in her. I think it's more of, you know, they are not believing in her, so they want to take a shortcut for her because they think they're protecting her. So that's not real love. That's just everyone wants to protect their kids, you know? But I think we all have to recognize what's right versus what's wrong in life. And it's our job to teach the next generation that. So, you know, on that note, Julie Buxbaum's novel was good. You know, it highlighted a lot of important things. You know, it was well written. It does flow going back and forth very well. There's no jarring, oh, we're in the past, oh, we're in the present now. You know, it moves, it flows, you know. So her consistency as a writer to keep the story moving forward is it's well done, honestly. I just had a hard time connecting to these characters. And I'm glad I got to record this video, because I feel like my written review is just, like me. I try not to use I a lot in my written review. So this is a chance for me to just kind of vent. about how much I don't like something or like something, you know? But, you know, if you want tomorrow, my written review goes live. It's far more eloquent and more on topic than this review is, but I think you really get to see more of how I feel about these books with these videos. And it may not be as eloquent as my written review, but you know, it's something. In any case, this was Admission by Julie Buxbaum. It was okay, you know. It does highlight a lot of important subjects. I'll give it a 3-star. Give it 3 stars. I hope you enjoyed this review. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. There's a link in the description of where to buy this book. It's a link to bookshop.org. A percentage of the proceeds go to local booksellers, which I think is really cool. And more links to my social media and website if you want to subscribe to one of those. So on that note, I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. And as always, happy reading.